I mean, wow. Wow.
Reese is definitely finding her own, and I think
knowing the way they treat her, they would probably find her and suspend her.
The behavior that Angel Reese has been displaying is embarrassing.
Angel Reese was suspended on July 7th after delivering an impressive performance with 22 points and 15 rebounds, despite her team suffering a narrow 2-point defeat to the Washington Mystics. However, the real shock came when she angrily knocked a clipboard out of her coach's hands during a nationally televised timeout. This unexpected outburst led the Chicago Sky to take action, suspending her indefinitely. The entire WNBA was left stunned. The incident, captured live, showed Reese walking to the bench and slapping the clipboard from an assistant coach's hand out of frustration. Her dominant stat line was quickly overshadowed by the controversy. Now, fans and analysts alike are asking, has the league finally had enough of her behavior, or is this just another dramatic twist in the turbulent journey of one of the most talked-about figures in women's basketball?
Day is another day of the Angel Reese drama because she has simply smacked the clipboard out of an assistant coach's hands. Yes.
Is walking over to the bench and she slaps the clipboard out of her coach's hand.
The clip spread like wildfire. Within minutes of being released by Sports, it was all over Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and beyond. And fans didn't hold back their reactions. Many called the moment embarrassing, disrespectful, and said a suspension was absolutely necessary. The kicker? Chicago only lost by 2 points. This wasn't a blowout or a meaningless game where tensions just boiled over. It was a tightly contested battle that went down to the wire, with a final score of 81-79 in favor of the Mystics. In truth, the Sky had every chance to win it. But just like much of their season, the victory slipped away in the final moments.
Are you kidding me? That is one of the most disrespectful acts I've ever witnessed by a professional athlete towards their coach, one of their coaches.
Angel Reese delivered another standout performance, 22 points, 15 rebounds, and 4 assists. Yet another dominant double-double, like it was just business as usual. At this point, performances like that aren't even surprising anymore, it's just what she does. But despite the stats, no one was talking about her game. There were no headlines praising her numbers, no recognition for her efforts on the court. All the attention zeroed in on one thing, the clipboard incident. And that says it all.
But this is some Bush League lack of respect. This behavior can't happen.
It's wild, because if you just look at the stats, Angel Reese is clearly carrying this team. But none of that seems to matter when the team is sitting at a 5-13 record. That's more than just a rough patch, it's a season on the verge of collapse. With every loss, the pressure builds. You can see the frustration. It's in every play, every timeout, every interaction on the sideline. Eventually, it all boiled over, right there in front of the cameras. And now, that moment is all anyone wants to talk about.
So Reese had a great game. She had 22 points, 15 rebounds. There were some questionable calls from the referees on both ends of the floor during this game.
This isn't just about one outburst. This is about a team that looks directionless, a locker room that's falling apart, and a star player who's clearly reached her breaking point. Some fans defend her, calling it passion. Others argue it's not leadership, it's a meltdown in the making. Many believe the Chicago Sky should take action, and maybe they will. Will it be a fine? Another suspension? Or is this just another flare-up in a season already spiraling out of control? No one has the answers yet. But one thing's clear. This wasn't just a bad look. It might be the moment everything truly unraveled for the Chicago Sky. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe my channel for more awesome content. Thanks.
She can't get out of her own way. And I don't give a rat's how frustrated she is.
Let's call it what it is. Things in Chicago are getting messy. And this isn't just about missed shots or a rough losing streak. It's deeper than that. We're talking about breakdowns in leadership, emotional outbursts, and a team that feels like it's being barely held together with duct tape and desperation. At the heart of it all is Angel Reese. Say what you want, love her or not, she's a fierce competitor. A generational talent with the skills, the stats, and the highlight reels to prove it. But what she seems to be lacking lately is composure. Her body language on the court speaks volumes. And not just the typical clapping or signaling for the ball. We're seeing eye rolls, tense confrontations, and moments where she clearly brushes off her coaches. Then came the incident that set everything off. the clipboard slap that made headlines everywhere.
They are not doing well this season. I think that is evident. It doesn't look like they are going to make playoffs.
Fans are completely divided. On one side, you've got supporters defending her, saying it's just passion, she's frustrated with losing, and that fire is what makes her great. But on the other side, people are done with the excuses. They are not seeing leadership, they are seeing chaos.
The Chicago Sky should suspend her for this.
Fans are split right down the middle. Some defend her, saying it's just passion, she's fed up with losing and plays with intensity. They see fire, not a flaw. But others have had enough. To them, this isn't leadership, it's disorder. They are calling it exactly what it looks like: chaos.
Coach do not have control of this basketball team, hence why they could be losing these damn games.
Scoring is only part of the game. What really matters is respect, discipline, and how a player carries themselves under pressure. Right now, both Angel Reese and Coach Teresa Weatherspoon, or Marsh, if that's who you're referring to, are falling short. If something doesn't change soon, that flying clipboard may just be the beginning. Let's rewind for a moment, because the infamous clipboard incident? That wasn't the start of the drama. It's just the latest chapter in a saga that began back in June 2025, during one of the most talked about matchups of the season, Chicago Sky vs Indiana Fever. Translation? Angel Reese vs Caitlin Clark, Round 1. It wasn't just buckets being exchanged, it was words, glaze, and eventually a physical confrontation that lit up the arena and set the internet ablaze. Things got ugly fast, and Angel's actions were widely seen as out of line. Many called for at least a 2-game suspension. The Sky went even further, handing Angel an indefinite suspension for what they labeled conduct detrimental to the team. That wasn't a soft warning, it was a serious statement. The message was clear: she wouldn't be allowed back until she met certain behavioral standards. Angel eventually returned, but the issues didn't stop, they escalated. Fast forward to July 2025, after a crushing loss to the Minnesota Lynx. The score wasn't what had her fuming. This time, her anger was aimed squarely at the referees.
Oh, guys, I'm not one to blow up negativity, but Angel Reese is supposed to be leading young women and being a great example to girls and kids all over the world.
The Chicago Sky weren't about to let things slide. They handed Angel an indefinite suspension, citing conduct detrimental to the team. This wasn't just a warning, it was a hard stop. The message was clear: she wouldn't return until she met the team's behavioral expectations. A few weeks later, Angel was back, but the drama didn't die down. In fact, it only intensified. Take July 2025, for example, after a heartbreaking loss to the Minnesota Lynx. The final score wasn't what set Angel off. Her frustration wasn't about missed shots, it was aimed squarely at the referees.
Tyler Marsh has no control over this basketball team. At this point, it looks like his leadership is questioned as a head coach with some of the tactics and things that go down with Angel Reese and this damn basketball team. Don't nobody care about the double-double no more, bro. We know Angel Reese can get double-doubles. This ain't, you know what I'm saying, at this point, it is what it is. This is what she does.
And when I say Angel was furious, I mean full-blown, unfiltered, fire-breathing mad. She stepped into that post-game press conference and lit up the officiating, called it diabolical, slammed the cheap calls, and capped it all off by saying, "I don't give a damn if I get fined." And with comments like that, yeah, fines were inevitable. Now it's not just about competing on the court. Angel is in an all-out battle with the refs, the media, and possibly even the WNBA front office. Her fans are all in, calling her a warrior who's standing up for her team. But her critics? They say she's reckless, writing checks with her mouth that the league's about to cash in full. At this point, Angel Reese isn't just a player, she's a full-fledged disruptor, and the league doesn't quite know how to handle her. But here's where things get complicated. Some say the media is going too far. That Angel is held to a different standard, judged 10 times more harshly than others. When she shows emotion, it's labeled a meltdown. But when a male player does the same, it's called passion or leadership. And honestly, there's real truth in that debate.
We just have great teammates, great vets, great coaches that continue to tell us to just keep working and keep pushing.
Tyler Marsh appears to have lost control of this team. At this point, his leadership as head coach is under serious scrutiny, especially with how things continue to unfold between Angel Reese and the rest of the squad. And let's be real, no one's talking about the double-doubles anymore. We know Angel can put up numbers. That's expected. That's her norm. But the conversation has shifted. When Angel gets mad, it's not just frustration, it's uncensored, fire-breathing rage. After a recent loss, she stepped into the post-game press conference and didn't hold back. She blasted the officiating, called it diabolical, slammed the cheap calls, and ended it with, "I don't give a damn if I get fined." Say something like that. And yeah, the fines are definitely coming. So now, it's not just about facing opposing teams. Angel's in a full-on battle with the refs, the media, and maybe even the league office. Her fans love it. They see a fighter who refuses to back down. But critics? They see someone who's spiraling out of control, making headlines for all the wrong reasons. They say she's talking herself into trouble the WNBA won't ignore. At this point, Angel Reese is more than just a player. She's become a polarizing, rebellious force, and the league doesn't seem to know how to respond. But here's where things get complicated. Some argue that Angel is being unfairly targeted, that she's judged far more harshly than her peers. When she shows emotion, it's labeled a meltdown. But when male athletes do the same, they're called fiery or competitive. And honestly, there's some real truth to that criticism. Despite all the drama, her teammates and coaches continue to preach one thing: stay focused, keep working, and push through it together.